Welcome to another edition of Mini Me Crafts. Today we're going to make this Friendship Star quilt block swap kit. Super cute and a great symbol or representation of Girl Scouting, the Friendship Star. This is great. This swap kit was actually a custom kit that was made for a troop that needed a pioneer theme swap. And so the quilt, we came up with a quilt idea, and it's good. It's good for lots of different events, camporees, but also just to represent that friendship that Girl Scouts have with each other. So as always, our kits come with personalized tags that are free, and all of our kits are individually packaged up. So what you'll want to do when you get your kits is just dump them out. And this one especially, girls, if you're listening, or leaders, make sure you tell your girls there are some small pieces with this kit. So just be careful when you're dumping that you have a flat surface, or even a towel works really well, and you don't have a big wind blowing, or if there is wind blowing, you're careful with your small pieces so you don't lose them. And so what you're going to have is your custom tag and your pin, which you'll be using last, and then you'll have your little padding, and you'll have your front and back of your quilt square, and then your individual quilt pieces, okay? So both of the front and the back are the same, so just start with either one, and you're going to actually create your star first, okay? Now the first piece you want to put in is the center of your star. It's the little square piece. You want to peel the back, which is pretty easy if you just take a corner, find a corner, and just center this. It does not have to be perfect, okay? Because at the end, you're going to have the opportunity to trim your edges. So don't worry about perfection, okay? Just get it basically in the center. Then you're going to take your other four pieces are the same, exactly the same. So it's just how you lay them out. So you're going to peel them, and then what you're going to do is take your, gosh, I should remember what geometric shape this is, but I don't. Parallelogram, or no, not a parallelogram. I'm not sure. Anyway, and you're going to have a long pointed edge, and then you're going to have a, this is an obtuse angle, and this is an acute angle. So your obtuse angle there, and you're going to put it right in the corner of your square, one of your corners. Now another way to think about this is this piece here should be parallel to the edge, and this piece here should be parallel to the edge. Again, it doesn't have to be perfect, okay? And you're going to start to see the star take shape as you're laying your pieces down, okay? So don't worry if it doesn't look like anything right away. Now, the way I think about this, if you've lined this up this way, all you have to do is just you're working your way around, and you can turn it as you go if you want. And now you're going to be doing the same thing, but this time you've got this corner too that you can line up with your piece, okay? And the great thing about duct tape is it's very forgiving. You can peel this if it looks crooked and you're frustrated. You can peel it off and you know, re-adhere it. So don't worry about that. The other thing not to worry about is if your edges are crooked, okay? Because we'll be able to trim those, like I said earlier, in the end. So don't worry about it. So you're going to keep peeling, rotate your pieces, and you're just going to keep laying those down. Now, if this were a real quilt block, you'd have individual pieces for the squares here and the triangles and these triangles. And actually, when I was first creating this, I did have those individual pieces, and then I realized, oh boy, this is a little bit too hard with such small pieces. So I sort of combined pieces. Still gives you the great look of the Friendship Star, but it's not quite so hard to lay down and look pieced together. So now, once you get to the last piece, again, don't worry if everything doesn't look perfectly lined up. See, you've got your star that's formed now. This piece I'm not super happy with, so I'm going to pull it up. And it's really easy to pull up. The only thing you have to be careful with, and I'm going to tell you this again when we get to our padding, our backing, is, turn it this way, it's a little easier, is that duct tape adhesive is pretty easy to peel from most surfaces, but if you get the adhesive sides stuck together, then it's a little hard to peel them off each other, two adhesive sides. So that's what you do want to be careful of that. All right, and then once you get them laid down, you're going to see this really pretty star form. There we go. And you can see the inside of the star there. Okay, and so that's going to be the top of your quilt. So we want to lay that aside for now and peel the bottom of your quilt. And this is the part where I said you want to just be careful. What I do is I usually take like a little pin to get it off my finger. And I want to lay it down so this is adhesive side up. Oops, there we go. Get that out of the way. And I just want to be careful not to bend this on itself. Okay, so that's the other warning with this swap. One is the small pieces, and two is that adhesive. Because once if the adhesive gets bent on itself, it is very hard to pull apart. So you're going to take your padding and you're going to lay your padding onto the adhesive and just basically center it, like we did with that center of the quilt square that we did. Okay, and so that's your backing. And then now you're going to take your top piece and you're going to peel it. Okay. And you're going to center it just as best you can. Again, it's not going to be perfect, and don't worry about that. That's not what crafting's all about. And then you're going to go along each edge and stick that adhesive together. Okay. Now, if your girls do the padding and the front and back first, and they're like, oh, I forgot to do my quilt pieces, you can do them afterwards. I do them before just because then the padding's not on there and the piece is nice and flat, but it really works either way. So if you want to do it before or after, it doesn't matter. Okay, and then this actually looked like it worked out pretty well when I stuck it together, but you can take from there and you can say, oh, okay, my edges are a little crooked. I have a little bit thicker framed edge here than on the other side, and you can trim if you want, just to straighten it out a little bit. And it's looking pretty good. This edge is a little bit sticking out. You don't want any of the adhesive sticking out because it's just going to end up sticking to things and getting messy. So just peel those or cut those, trim those edges. It's not looking too bad though. But again, don't tell the girls not to worry if you have crooked edges, because this is how easy it is to cut and trim them. And then you've got this really cute quilt square. Then it's time for your pin and your tag. And for this troop, we made a tag and we actually talked a little bit about the history of the quilt square. We put, in pioneer days, quilts were made from old clothes and fabric scraps. This friendship star quilt block pattern perfectly represents Girl Scout sisterhood. So it'll go perfectly with their camp theme. So put the tag on first, that way you'll be able to see the text, and then just pick any corner you'd like, doesn't matter, and poke that pin right through it, through the corner, and close it up, and there you go. And like I said, these are all going to look different. You know, I've got different background fabrics, coordinating fabrics, listen to me, duct tape or adhesives to match them up, and they'll just turn out great. So you guys have fun, happy crafting, and we'll see you again soon.